if you don't understand risk, you don't understand what you're doing. While trading sounds sexy, it's not 100% winner. While trading sounds like a lot of fun, there can definitely be huge risks involved if you don't control your financial risk in the moment.
This is the How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, brought to you by 10MinuteStockTrader.com, where we cover finance, stocks, options, entrepreneurship, education, and money. And here's your host, voted one of the top 100 people in finance, Christopher Ewell.
Are you looking to take the guesswork out of trading? Well, you need to get the Secret Investing book. It's the underground playbook that 10-minute stock traders are using to take the guesswork out of trading every single day. You can get your free copy over at secretinvestingbook.com. That's secretinvestingbook.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, and watch all of our past episodes over at sharevision.com. Traders, it's a very solemn day. Sorry, I have to not smile. Very solemn day here in the 10-minute trading room. We lost one of our dear friends, the bull rally. We lost him. He's dead. He's gone. Buried once again. And now we're back to the bears. Back to a bear market. I don't know how long it's going to last. Doesn't really matter. We're going to trade either way. But yeah, the bull's dead. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. For those of you who hadn't seen me do this before, I've had the opportunity 3 times now to do this. But here's what you need to know. Let me clean this up, make it a little easier to see. For a bullish trend, we need to have the 10-day over the 20-day and price over the 50-day. That occurred here. This was July 21st. Now, it has occurred back the other way. And look at this. Is it not the same price on this date and this date? Dr. Sinclair and I were texting earlier. This is a choppy market. Choppy McChopperson market. That's what we're looking at right now. From July 21st to August 30th, we had a beautiful bull run. Went up close to 10% during that time. I mean, from the bottom, even more. From the bottom, close to 20%. Now, we don't know where this is going to go, clearly. It could go the opposite direction starting tomorrow. But it doesn't really matter. What matters is following the plan. So, real quick, right quick. Let me go over a couple announcements here. I have to leave right on the dot at 2:42 today and tomorrow Central Time to go get my kids from school. My wife is unable to pick them up the next 2 days. So no stress there. I will take care of you as absolutely amazing as possible. And then I got to bail. Second, the next Thursday is when I'm traveling to California. So I will not, this is on the 9th, September 8th. I will not be having trading room on that day, nor day trading or anything like that. I'm going to be traveling. Can't do that while I'm doing all the other things. Then the following day, we're not going to have a web class on that Friday morning, mainly because my flight's going to get in at 10 something at night, and then it's going to take me a while to get home. So it'll probably be midnight by the time I get home. And yeah, I'm not going to be doing that the next day early like that. Plus, I wouldn't have had a chance to work on my slides. So that's the latest announcements. And then lastly, on the 19th, 20th, and 21st of September, I will be attending a conference. So on those dates, I won't be able to trade as well. So Dr. Sinclair, good to see you. Isaac, good to see you. Ernie, good to see you. I'm really enjoying the Discord. So if you guys haven't already signed up for the Discord, please do. Love to hang with you guys over there. And ladies, guys and ladies. So now let's move on to our day trade section. Okay, so we had a few come through today. I was just doing the math here. Net slightly down. We had 3. Depending on where you got in and where you got out, it was within a few cents either direction. So hopefully your account managed to get in on the better side than my account did on the outer side, or whatever the case was. But yeah, overall, we had 3 trades today. Let's talk about them. Here. So first one was in This is today. So setting alerts this morning. The market was actually up pretty significant this morning and then kind of fell apart. Now, I set alerts for a reset, which a reset is basically touching the 10 period EMA on the 12-minute chart. And we got that around 10:30 my time. And then that was this candle here. And then right afterward, it did close down below. So let's go look at that candle real quick. That was the... sorry, I deleted my notes on here to make it a little easier to see. That was this candle. Was it there? 10:30? Yeah. That candle there. The actual entry point came at 398.44, right? 398.44. Yeah, 398.44. So that was our first entry point here. Now, wasn't too long after that, we did have an exit signal, and it was at 398.97. At what time was that at? 54. So it was only 14 minutes. There it is. Only a little bit later, only about 20 minutes later, we got an exit signal here as it crossed above the 5 period, okay? So that's not a big deal. It looks like it's trending down. It hit our, at this point here, it hit our reset. Looked like it might start be reversing and heading back down. So putting on the trade, and then a couple candles later, got right out. No big deal. Looking at the next one here, reset was hit again, and we got another setup, short 398.76. So that was 398.76. And we got out of it at 397.70. So this one was the best one of the day for sure. 397.70. So we took basically profits all the way down to here from this point here. We've got another reset at this point. Had another setup. Watched it run all the way down. And this was our first candle. It went through that Keltner channel. And remember, when it hits the Keltner channel, the first opposite direction candle, which was this one, is your exit point, as well as it crossed over the 5, as well as it was higher than the previous close. So it was a full-fledged exit there. And then the last one of the day came at 396. Hang on, let me do this. 396.99. Make it green for when we're getting in. And then this one did not work out. It was here. Yeah, right there. And we managed to get out about 20 minutes later. And the exit price was 398.17. So if you were following along, you might have been able to pull a profit. For me, I had a tiny loss overall. But that middle trade, that second one, was the one that really paid for the other two. So here's the thing with trading, right? You don't know when your setup is going to occur, how big that profit's going to be. So that's why when your setups happen, you got to take them, right? It's rigid in the plan, flexible in the outcome. And that really plays true with a day like today, where the first one's a small loss, the second one was a really nice, solid win, and the third one's, let's call it a medium-sized loss. I mean, greater than the first one, but really not a big loss. So overall, really solid day. Hope you guys had a chance to trade along with it. If you do, sign up in the Discord. Be sure to follow along with the day trades, and you can follow along with us. So let me see who else is here. Brian made it. Maria made it. Donna made it. And Jaskaran made it. Good to see all of you. Now, let's work into the market analysis. All right, so this is the 10-minute trading room, and this is how to trade in 10 minutes a day and exactly how to take the guesswork out of trading. Now, with our swing trading strategy, it always starts with the market. And as we covered earlier, the market is now bearish. We have the 10 under the 20 with price under the 50. MMFI, I do not know where this is at. 48.77, so that's bearish as well. But like I mentioned earlier today, the market was up pretty strong, so it did come through with a green day on FinClub. Didn't surprise me too much there. Now, when that happens, that's okay. That just means that today is a transition day. We don't have any swing trades on. We're not in the market. We're waiting for valid market setups. And it could totally come tomorrow or the day after. Wait in cash for proper setups, like Mark says. How long? As long as it takes. Now, there was one thing I did notice with the market breadth, right? We talked about how strong this breadth was recently and hit 52-week highs up here within how many days? August 15th to now, 15 days, all of the breadth has just evaporated. Now, that sounds scary, but let's think of it from a math perspective. Let's think of it from a math perspective. If we're following the 50-day, and I'll just put the 50-day on here. If we're following the 50-day, as we've seen, the 50-day was coming down and coming down and coming down and coming down, right? The point here where it crossed over was the easiest hurdle to cross. This was July 27th. So when the market crossed, it was heading up like this, right? Now, this is the individual components of the market crossing their own 50-day moving averages. So what this tells me when I'm looking at this and then relaying that to individual ones, right? That means not a lot of them really went all that far over their own 50-day moving average when just basically 2 to 3 days of market moves can take out 50% of the market from their own 50-day moving average. Or they're all getting wrecked under the scenes, one of the two. But that's certainly bearish. We want to keep that in mind as we go forward. So, gosh, there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. Let's take a look real quick at the oil stocks we put on last week. Because I was looking at these yesterday, and I was like, damn, following the plan sometimes sucks, but watching this right afterward, right, on a day like today, taking your exit signals when you get them really showed why we do this. Earlier on today, I was checking these out, really showed these ugly candles and the reason why we take our exits when we take our exits, right? There was that one, then there was a EQT. I mean, some of these are just getting monkey hammered. Now, I'm not saying, you need to go short when you get an exit signal. Not at all. The point is that you take your entries, you take your exits, and then you step back and you wait for them to materialize again. Because if you don't take those, right? As I said yesterday, in fact, I might screen cap this one, but it was a Twitter post I had where it was on Friday. Yeah. You have to take the opportunity to turn your small losses back into cash before they become big losses. And don't let that opportunity pass you by. I think I will screen cap that one. That's a good one there, if I say so myself. All right, let's move into our final thoughts, and we'll all get on our way. Oh, I still have mine pulled up here. Sorry. Give me a second here to find the final thought of the day. Okay, so we've talked before about how it is advantageous, just like I talked about a minute ago, taking those small losses, taking the opportunity when they're small losses so they don't turn into big losses. Here I found an incredible Twitter story that I want to share with you guys for a couple minutes. This was my life before I started working with the market wizards, before I started learning from traders who actually made money. This was what happened to me. This is not my story, but my story is basically the same. I don't know what Tifu means. If you know, put it in the chat. Maybe it's I effed up, something like that. Losing $50,000 in a day and haven't told my wife. Now, some of you guys know my story. I had to explain to my wife how I lost 2/3 of my account within 60 days of starting. And I remember we're driving down the Dallas North Tollway heading north. And I remember looking over at her and telling her that, and then just her like, "What'd you say?" And she never drives, so I don't know why she was driving on that day. Maybe I'd been drinking or something. But I know the pain that this person's going through, and so when I was reading this, I was like, I've been there. I know this pain. This is brutal. But this is why you have to control your risk. This is exactly why you have to control your risk. I lost $50,000 selling naked puts on SPY. And I still need to find a way to tell my wife. Naked puts are a strategy. It is bullish, but the amount that you can win is so much smaller than the amount you can lose. For example, there was a while ago I was I mean, this was years ago. It's definitely changed since then. But to sell a naked put on Apple before its stock split, it was $22,000 in margin to put up to make, let's call it $150. $22,000 of risk to make $150. What brain dead person trades a naked put like that? I mean, if you do, by all means, you do you. But I can tell you, I don't know how you'd make money. This person's $50,000 in debt, and he needs to tell us why. In debt to the brokers. He sold the 420s, the 418s, the 415s, and the 410s. All of them are super underwater at this point. I sold these naked, meaning there was no stop loss. It was just going to go. TD Ameritrade has disabled his account, and he's concerned with how he's going to break the news to his wife. They've been married for 2 years, and he's nervous as hell to tell her. I don't blame him. Not sure if I can hide this, as I owe 2 brokerages money, and I am sure that they will collect. Now listen, when you trade, the very last thing you want to do is get to a point where you owe the brokerage money. That means your risk was not contained at all. You had no idea what you were doing, and it doesn't matter how you got there. You have to figure your way out, and it's not going to be good. Larry Hite tells the story about how when he was first trading, something went wrong. I don't remember all the details of the trade, but he went into the stairwell of the building he was working in, and he's Jewish, and he was going, please, dear God, please don't let this trade go into a debit balance, please. And he said at that point, two bankers started walking down the stairs, and they just kind of walked around him. Thankfully, I've never been in that point. I hope you don't have a chance to do that either. I really hope you don't have a chance to. Here's the kicker. I thought the market would swing up at 1040 when Jim Cramer held a meeting on the news and talked about the bullish potential. Then, when the news came out about the Fed's outlook, the whole market tanked. There's more to it than this, but then this person, one of my favorite accounts to follow, says, step 1, watch Jim Cramer, step 2, blow up your account. I thought that was pretty funny. But the takeaway of the story is, if you don't control your risk will bite you to a point where maybe you have a negative debit balance, like this person has to deal with. I believe it was last year, this young individual had an account at Robinhood, and he sold a put spread, but over the weekend something went wrong with the clearing, and he pulled up his account over the weekend. He was exercised on half of his trade, but not on the other half. Had he waited until Monday, it would have been a loser, but it would have been no big deal. But I believe he was selling put spreads on Amazon. But over the weekend he looked, and it hadn't cleared both of them yet. And Robinhood showed he owed $800,000 to Robinhood to cover his account because it was exercised, and now he had all these shares of Amazon. I don't remember the complete story, but over that weekend he killed himself. And it's just a brutally sad story about how if you don't understand risk, if you don't understand what you're doing, while trading sounds sexy, it's not 100% winners. While trading sounds like a lot of fun, there can definitely be huge risks involved if you don't control your financial risk in the moment. Because you have to do it in the moment. You have to put your emotions down, and you have to say, in the moment, I must do this. I must take this opportunity to turn my small loss into cash while I have it. And I'm not going to miss this opportunity. Thank you all so much for coming today. I appreciate everything that you do. Be sure to join us in the Discord. I'm really liking the ability to chat with you and give you kind of like a breakdown of what happened over the day or even in the future. So, or when I say futures, in the futures market leading up into the morning. I'm going to go pick up my kids from school. Have a fantastic afternoon. I'll see you right back here tomorrow or even sooner on the Discord. Talk soon. Hey, don't forget, before you head out, head to secretinvestingbook.com right now to get your free copy of The Secret Investing Book. This is how to finally get a positively unfair advantage in the stock market. And it has 13 of the secrets that Wall Street does not want you to know. And I want to send this to you for free today. Just help me by covering shipping. And the way you can do that, is by going to secretinvestingbook.com. That's secretinvestingbook.com, and I'll ship this out for you right away. Thanks so